And yet that mountain appears to be taller. No, that one is taller. There. Like it just wants to kiss the sky. Hello everyone, Thranks is here, and welcome back to No Man's Sky, where we did a little more derelict freighters with fans off camera and got ourselves a whole new 2 cargo bulkheads. Yeah, so we didn't have a whole lot of time, but we did get some, and we're going to go ahead and put them to good use immediately. I'm talking about extra storage here, extra storage there. That's right. It won't be long before the Relentless will have an entirely full bit of inventory, and then we'll start working on the technology section. But we also got ourselves quite a bit of nanites, and there was another thing. Oh, we got ourselves another upgrade for our Singularity Cortex on the Nightmare in Space. And what else? We also got another translucent cornea. No, we got an upgrade for the grafted eyes. So we're now at 3 upgrades for the eyes, 3 for the Cortex, 6 for the vents, 3 for the heart. And then, of course, we still need, you know, more for the neural assembly. We have none for the scream suppressor. A little devastating, as our shields could always stand to improve significantly. They're the only ones not really boosted at all. And then, of course, we're limited on space, but I dare say we'll find a way to make that work. In the meantime, though, we're going to continue our exploration tour as we prepare to warp to the neighboring system, actually. This system appearing to have 3 planets, 2 moons, with some water on a green spectrum star. And it lies within the Yatsa adjunct, I'm gonna say. Let's travel there. Those are terms I accept. Let's go. Ah. And of course, it says this system was already discovered by dear Mr. Dubs. However, none of the planets are showing up as explored. So I'm guessing all the planets here are going to be new. And this is a fully uncharted system. So fun, fun, fun times. At this point, I think if we're going to fully explore this area, we're going to have to chase down every single planet that is registering as unexplored, even if that means revisiting some planets, since the Atlas received its Origins update. And with this system being fully uncharted, we have no hope of getting any sort of space station here. I think this one deserves a filter. I think that's fairly good for that one, and then actually, if we're going to get it off the deck here, something more like that. Magnificent. That's what I have to say. Absolutely magnificent. Alright, so we have an unknown moon. A torrid moon. Just scalding. A desert planet. Activated Emerald. We've seen a couple extreme desert planets. But now I'm always curious to see what makes these celestial bodies unique. Oh, we have a glacial moon. I see. And then 2 more planets right around the cusp here. One of them appears to have a pretty significant storm system currently active in it. We have the unknown planet, a plated planet. Very well. And this planet is a Himal planet. Extreme ancient bones. I think first we should make the journey to the plated planet. The largest reason I like to head to the further away planets first is to give our Nightmare in Space time to zero in on an alien melody in order to find another void egg and potentially unlock more upgrades. Now look at the coloration on this Himal planet. How peculiar. I don't know about that water. Could be liquid ammonia. So it is going to be a fight. In uncharted space? Okay. Was that 2 of them? It was. Woo! Alright, I think... Oh my goodness, goodness gracious. These plated planets always look very, very interesting. A nice blue sky, it appears. Okay. Let's head down to... Whoa... terrain. Wow. Oh my goodness. With the coloration. Well, that's rather magnificent, actually. These metal mountains. Ooh, watch it. No, let's head down. There's absolutely some extreme saturation type fog on the surface. Ugh, that's obscuring all these structures. Whoa, my, oh my, oh my, oh my, no. How about just the default filter for this one? Please and thank you. No, this is... What are we doing? Let's look for the highest point. And let's try to observe the fact that some of these structures are going to pop up and get us out of nowhere. Look at this massive valley here, though. Like, it appears that there are mountains everywhere. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on. There's going to be structures appearing. Yep. But look at this. It's almost like there are no... No, we're stopping here. Let's land. It's highly saturated with obsidian heat. The sun is just scorching down onto this metallic surface and just spinning a certain color to everything. But this... Why is it so perfectly flat out there and over here? I have more questions than answers. Although these anomalous planets... the boundary separation of reality failing. Look at that. Look at that, how we float. It's just a giant void, right? Like you can't even make anything out of it. No, we need to go back to our ship. Because the truth is, you can see the terrain variation here. And these mountains are fun, they are. But what is this flat area here? It was almost like as soon as we punched into the atmosphere, we were going to hit mountains. Except over here. Well, no, okay, there are some mountains here. But you can't deny this over here is significantly flat as far as structure goes. Compared to even that, look at that mountain is just tremendous. A couple of these mountains are just astounding. But instead of being like the mountains are the same size everywhere, they definitely have highs and lows. Let's settle the plane, or let's settle the ship down here. I'm sort of speechless. We have this shallow rainbow. There we go. Yes, the plant life and the minerals are registering as anomalies, and they're throwing off our scanner. That one feeds off of dark matter. I would almost expect to see like a volcano or something. And it's got this deep, deep fog blowing in on the surface. I must admit, this feels a good bit different than one of the other plated planets. Is this it? I don't know. The sun is riding high. I think what we need is to take our bike for a ride. Because it's easier when you're riding on the ground to see some of these mountains as being much bigger than the others. So let's go to the top of this mountain here. Ooh. Oh wow, that one was just plain floating. And even in the shadows of the mountain, you can see it's so much darker. That's a pretty significant mountain over there. I think this one's going to end up being higher. Oh my goodness. Smashing through the... I love it. Do it. Such carnage. Oh, I can't even look up. It's so steep. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. No, thank you. Oh, no. I reject those terms. Can we get a monolith, maybe? No, no monolith here. And yet that mountain appears to be taller. No, that one is taller. There. Like it just wants to kiss the sky. Woo! I feel like these new planets like this are begging for a racetrack. Like they need a nice, complex racetrack with boosts and jumps. Okay, so we can definitely view that this mountain is taller than those. However, not as tall as this one. Oh, this is gonna be a steep drop. Is this the right way? Oof. No fall damage in the bike. Thank goodness. I've got to see. Oh yeah. Here we go. Whoa. No. No. That's frightening. We don't want to go first person. Probably not on a flat planet we don't want to go first person. We're still not at the top. Did we get higher than where we started? I've lost all frame of reference. No, that's where we want to be. It's up there. That's it. That's the peak. Let's go. It's okay, the Sentinels, they can't catch up. We've got way too much speed on our side. How the sun glistens off each metal tile. This is it. This is it. Our Everest. Hold on. That peak might be higher. Now that we're way up here at the top, we can see just how low all those other peaks were and how significant that depression is there. And look at this. There's hardly any clouds in the sky. That mountain might be the tallest right over there. It looks taller, but I think that one has it covered. Okay, let's go to the highest point we can here. Nope. That would be here. I think that one, it's like an optical illusion, right? But look, there are significant valleys. Like, yes, there are some areas that are kind of tumultuous with the terrain, but there are also very significant valleys. Like, look at that whole valley over there. You know what? think let's go over to this mountain. I think this is it. This is the one. And it's actually pretty flat on top. It almost seems like the cloud layer is right here. I mean, not quite, but darn close. Alright, this little floating plateau here I think we're going to count as the highest point on this mountain. So let's go ahead and land. Oof, that obsidian heat. Okay, we're definitely taller than that. We are taller than where we left the exocraft. It's easier to see from over here. We can't see the other mountain the exocraft was looking at. It's a little far away. But look how far this little mountaintop, this plateau continues. Oh my goodness. And there's your sunset? What? But what you need is like a shot of one of the valleys, really. I think that's it, right? But you need to see the color striation in the sunset. Like, it's two different sort of colors going on here. So you have this one. Still looking like that. Maybe with a filter, huh? Because you're still getting the color change in the sky, which is probably the most interesting thing. I don't necessarily want to... See, that just looks like... that looks like... Yeah, oil rain. No. It's not as good as the default filter, right? It's just not. But look, the sky is still blue. Everywhere else. But you get this iridescent sort of violet. As the sun gets lower. I dare say we're going to have to see what nighttime looks like. Now that is an extreme color variation right there. It's just incredible. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. That'll do, camera. That'll do. See, now if you just landed on the night side, you might be impressed by the mountains. But if you missed that sunset... Okay, no, this is a good look, but, you know... It's hard to hold a candle to that sunset. And look at this steep ledge here. Oh no, this is the floating rock. Yeah, so this really is the high point here of this mountain, right? Or is that higher over there? No. No, this floating plateau is the high point. Wow. Those are starting to look red as we exit nautical twilight. So everything is properly colored close by, and this deepened sort of blood orange at a distance. We've seen this sort of spectral trickery before. Yep, and as we near them, they change yellow. Obviously, that was still something we could see before nighttime, but nighttime just made it more apparent. It's like the whole planet's a machine. Okay. And so I think we'll go ahead and name this planet. Iridescent. I like that. Gosh, I hope. Stand by. We're gonna make sure we spelled it right. Iridescent with one R. Right, okay. Well, that's why we looked. That's why we stopped. That's why we took a second to make sure we got it right. Iridescent. Because that's what it makes me think of. No greater reason than that. And I don't know why I was scanning for structures. Because we know this is an uncharted system. Now look at that, with just one little hop off the mountain, and here we are in the clouds. And those colors... they don't look as lavender from the outside. But they do look very lavender while you're flying around in the atmosphere. I'm curious about something. I think we're going to leave the atmosphere and then choose a point that's maybe a little further away. Not that I necessarily want to just specifically rewatch the sunset, although that is awesome too. I want to see if the terrain is similar all over. So it is, in a way. You've got mountains and valleys, and it's an interesting generation. And look at that color line. Okay, well, we've seen that. Where to next? We've got hot, desert, cold, and cold. With ancient bones and quite an intense storm happening. We have no idea if we're over land or water. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Pretty significant storm action in here. And that looks like land, so we're gonna aim for that. Oh my goodness. Is that really all the lightning everywhere? That is a bit intense. Ooh. Storm clearing, you don't say. And here I thought we were high up in the mountains. Nope, this is like some island out in the middle of nowhere. And as soon as the storm clears, it's immediately calm and the birds are out. Whoa. Very interesting. Roaring ice storms. Yeah, roaring with thunder. That was intense, all the lightning we saw when we first came in.
Extreme hazard planet.
Or are we gonna get that warning a few more times?
Extreme hazard planet.
Oof, diet Fecium. Sorry about your luck there.
Technology recharge.
More avian creatures. Are they swooping down to feed on the water? Cautious, nibbles at shoots. No. Alright, I think you can be done. I don't want to deal with that. Even in clear weather, it's pretty difficult to see so far on this planet. Okay, well, with the storm having let up, I would like to exit the atmosphere momentarily and then try to peer down and see where exactly we landed in terms of... Yeah, so we're sort of on the coast. Actually, there's a good bit of land and water intermixed together. Yeah, kind of what you would expect with a planet that has roaring ice storms is there is a lot of actual weather activity going on in the atmosphere. Pretty expected, not really surprising there. The ocean is a lot shallower than I would expect. But that could be because most of the water froze. And what's left are non-water chemicals that have been left behind. I hate for it to always be my go-to, but the truth is, with a color like this, I immediately think, this color, this temperature, I'm like, ammonia. It's gotta be that the ocean is largely supported by ammonia, and oh my. Builds large nests, feeds on frostwort. That's quite a few. Let's just... Whoa. Okay. Found in the endless winter of planet once, they have selected a nesting site. They remain there for the rest of their lives. As they continuously build, the nests of a mature adult are frequently colossal. Gut analysis reveals a diet consisting almost entirely of frostwort. Those all seem to be related to a degree. That's 4, and then underwater, underground. Underground. There are literally no surface fauna on this planet that aren't avian, underwater, or underground. I'm mildly intrigued. Even with calm weather, the surface is difficult, limited visibility. Let's plumb the depths here a little bit and see. Yeah, it's not much easier to look through all this ammonia. But we do have more of these mechanical structures residing here. Okay, so it does garner some depth. Some respect for its depth. Yep. Fairly certain we're not going to get any such thing on our scanner, given that it's an uncharted system, but I figured we would give it a shot. I think we'll go ahead and scan some of these minerals. Water resistant, primarily made of chlorine. Fungal symbiosis. I suppose that makes sense if the rock is water resistant. Slow growing photosynthesis. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't feel good now. No, hold on, hold on, hold on. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No! I wanted to get a better look from the safety of my exocraft. Those were some interesting aquatic creatures. Yeah, here we go. Found thriving in the waters on a planet where it seeks deep-sea pockets of warmth, refuges against the relentless cold. Their eyes never close, for they never sleep. What eyes? Their swim is endless, unbroken by rest or respite. Aggressive hunters, they make a meal of any fish unfortunate enough to get caught in their jaws, and they're hatched from cocoons. How intriguing! They obviously breathe the liquid ammonia. It's fairly cold down here. I'm not sure of what warmth pockets they're talking about. Not seeing a lot of warmth pockets. Maybe there's some geological activity? Some sulfide vents, surely. It is very, very cold. Got these little needle-nosed fish hunting in a small group. Pressure sensitive. I think we can safely learn a little bit of something about the planet with these. Frozen in time with salt and oxygen. Frozen in time, you say? That's an interesting one. Incoming storm. It is, at this point, I think we should get back to our ship. It seems like there might be deep pockets in this ocean, but they're not around here. And of course, with the raging snowstorm coming, yeah, it's going to get even cloudier and colder down here, and I would very much enjoy seeing some of the terrain. Oh, it's almost turned pure white down here. Wow. Has the temperature actually reduced underwater that fast? No, it's about the same. Alright, and without the ability to see through the atmosphere from orbit, we have no way of knowing where land is. Let's try to punch through the atmosphere, and let's just take an aim at maybe the day-night terminator. So if the sun's in that direction, I think it's pretty safe to say we want to head in this direction here. Look at those clouds. Definite anvil shape here. Some of these clouds are pretty significant. I wonder if we're in danger of having our ship struck by lightning. I have no visibility. Okay, no, we can see some water. Limited terrain. Oof, we just hit a crystal poking up out of the water, so... This storm does not appear to be as violent as the previous one. And again, we're still a good bit in the ocean over here at that location, so let's try for... How about here? Here we are. I can definitely see land through some of the pockets in the clouds. So the storms have varying levels of intensity. And this one is not so bad. We are dealing with a storm, but not necessarily a violent one. There's significant breaks in the cloud cover as well. You can't deny the ice storm is roaring. Yeah. I think we'll continue to gather some of these frozen tubers, and then maybe also some storm crystals, because now the warp hypercores are a little more valuable than they used to be. And look how fairly flat this is here. No lightning at all associated with this storm. Just an incredible wind and a freezing cold. What the heck? I just had a horrible long dark flashback. Now wait a second, we know that the only fauna on this planet is in the air and underground. Oof, see, we're being sent into a small panic. There's no call for this. We need to just relax. Maybe find the edge of what we're looking for here.
Extreme night temperature detected. Technology recharge.
Wow. These plateaus are fairly significant. It's cold, the trees. I'm still hearing those. There's definite some life form howling nearby. There must be a cave. Let's see if I can maybe locate a curiosity deposit. No, not a buried mineral formation. Something more like a subterranean relic or a natural burial site. You know what? I accept those terms. $703. All right, 625 works for me. Plus, if we can come down here to the bottom, it'll give us a better sense of scale of the plateau we just came from. Yeah, not quite so tall. Very specifically shaped, though. And then look at this kind of tall grass sweeping through this area with these rocks. Roaring ice storms. And what is this planet labeled as? I believe it's a Himal planet. Are these avian life forms the ones making all this noise? Huh. Oh, and would you look at that? A natural burial site cluster. Let's excavate. There you go. Just some basic cracked bone fragments. Ooh. A unique skeleton, 2,790 years old. A manufactured artifact adorned with this magnificent skeleton in death. Was this once an intelligent life form, a beloved pet? The bones are alone inconclusive, but it's a remarkable find. Yep, curious partial skeleton. The skull in this collection of bones boasts an unusual number of eye sockets. I believe we found one like that before, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, there are a lot of buried bones here.
Ground protection falling.
I think we'll call this the Ice Age Graveyard. And with that, I dare say we're going to go ahead and get some of these out of our inventory here. And we'll hold on to these to sell, but we're going to send those to the freighter as well. Might as well. Let's keep the inventory clear. We definitely don't need 2 save points. Condensed carbon. You know, I feel like this should be
Technology recharge.
probably just not something we worry about much more. Like, we'll just turn it into regular carbon, I think. From there, we'll have to pick up the rest of this system in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've had a good time watching, because as always, I've had a good time playing. Until next time, take care.